Hey, and welcome to video number 7 of the advanced course for n8n. This video will cover handling files, which is quite an advanced feature of n8n workflow building. When dealing with files, the node output will have a new option called binary view, alongside JSON, table, and schema. When reading images or documents, the binary data will let you preview or download those files directly onto your computer. All of this will help with, handling files. The binary output will give you additional information about the file, name, directory, file type, size, etc. When dealing only with files, the table, JSON, and schema views will be empty. Here you see an example of a binary view. I made an HTTP request to retrieve a file, and here I have different information about that file, name, directory, extension, size, etc. By clicking on the view, I am able to preview this file, but I could also download it onto my machine so I can view it directly. Here for an SVG format, we can obviously preview the image. When dealing with files, so what are the key nodes that we're going to be able to use when handling files? All the nodes related to handling files are in the file category. Some of the useful nodes will help you with compressing or decompressing files using the .zip format you're likely familiar with. Will allow you to read or write files from the disk. This can be particularly useful if you're self-hosting n8n or converting JSON objects into or from the file format. To illustrate how we can use files in n8n, I have a HTTP request node here that is making a get HTTP request to n8n.io/logo. And here we can see the expected response format is a file. I'm going to put it in a field called logo. When I execute here, the first thing we're going to see is the binary view, which lets us preview but also download the image, and the table and JSON and schema views are going to be completely empty. If back and behind this node I drag another HTTP request, this time just same process, just looking for a different kind of file, and I execute. Here we can see that binary items behave a bit differently than regular items and append each other. So in the previous execution, we only had logo, and now we have logo and workflow image. Now that we have these two files, if I want to, for example, store them on my disk, or if I want to compress them to be able to send them, I can use the compress files. Obviously, the operation is going to be compress, but we can use the same node to decompress files. And I can just add here the names, logo, and workflow. Set the output format as a zip, give it a name, compressed.zip, for example. And when I execute the node, we go from 2 files down into a single file that I can download to test. Now that we've looked at how we can get multiple files with an HTTP request and compress them into a single zip file, we can look at the opposite example and request a zip file, decompressing the data and splitting it up. The first thing we need to do, obviously, is get the file. So here we have the same as last time, a get HTTP request that goes and gets a zip file on a server. By executing here, once again, we see table and JSON are empty, and we have a binary file that we can again download here. Using the decompress node here, we can extract all of the different files that are in data. Here we can see that we have 3 different files, file 0, file 1, and file 2, that are an Unsplash image, a second Unsplash image, and a third one. Again, all of the information about the file can be found here. Here, apparently, we have 3 JPEGs. The next step here is going to be to split this out. As you can see, we only have 1 item. So if in the next part of the workflow, we're going to want to deal with these different images separately, we're going to have to split out this single item into different binary items. For this, we can use the code node. This is something that you can find in the templates that will allow you to simply take these binary files and split them out. So when I execute the node here, we see that we have this time 3 different binary items, all named data, and that correspond to the 3 files that we saw earlier, this time split out. Here we can again see we have a single item here, and then we have 3 items here. So following on, we can now build our workflow looping through all of these different items. Thanks for listening to the 7th video of the n8n Advanced course, where we covered handling files. In the next video, we'll cover some enterprise features that'll take your workflow building to the next level.